What should have been a moment of unfiltered joy, a glittering celebration of hard work, talent, and triumph, instead became a strangely tense tableau, watched closely by millions and dissected by insiders within hours. When Carlos Gu, 32, was crowned champion of Strictly Come Dancing alongside football icon Karen Carney, the ballroom erupted in applause. Hugs were exchanged. Smiles bloomed across familiar faces. All except one. Champagne flutes were raised. Standing just beyond the circle of celebration was Nancy Hsu, 34, a dancer once described as Carlos's closest confidant. His professional mirror and, by some accounts, his chosen family. Her expression, fleeting yet unmistakable, told a story that words had failed to contain for over a year. In that single moment, a long simmering rift quietly surfaced, and with it, the collapse of a friendship many believed was unbreakable. From childhood kinship to professional fallout for years, Nancy Hsu and Carlos Gu were inseparable within the Strictly family. Their bond predated fame, contracts, and choreography. It was forged in the early days of their dancing lives, when ambition outweighed recognition and dreams felt both fragile and infinite. They celebrated small victories that no cameras ever captured. They struggled together. They trained together. To colleagues, they were like brother and sister. To friends, they were constants in each other's lives. To fans, they were proof that competition didn't have to eclipse loyalty. Which is why the whispers that began circulating last year felt so unsettling. At first, they were easy to dismiss, vague murmurs of distance, subtle shifts in energy. But then came the digital silence, the unfollowing on social media, the absence of shared appearances. The quiet avoidance backstage that no amount of PR polish could fully conceal. According to reports at the time, the pair had stopped speaking altogether. A year that changed everything. The backdrop to the fallout was far from simple. During the 2024 series, Carlos was reportedly devastated after not being assigned a celebrity partner, a professional blow that left him questioning his place within the show he had devoted so much of his life to. Meanwhile, Nancy was deeply immersed in her partnership with Shane Ward, focusing her energy on choreography, competition, and performance. Two dancers, once aligned in rhythm, suddenly found themselves moving to different emotional tempos. Still, Carlos publicly downplayed any suggestion of a serious rift. "We've been friends since childhood. We're fine," he insisted when questioned. Friends argue, "We're too close, like brother and sister, to completely fall out." At the time, his words soothed speculation. Many believed the tension would pass, as it so often does in high-pressure environments fueled by ambition and disappointment. But the following year would test that optimism. When the roles reversed in a cruel twist of fate, the professional disappointment Carlos had faced 1 year earlier fell squarely on Nancy the next. For the latest series, it was Nancy Hsu who was left without a celebrity partner, a decision she later admitted cut deeper than she had expected. Speaking candidly to her followers on social media, Nancy did not attempt to mask the emotional impact. "In the very beginning, when I just received the messages, it did upset me," she confessed. "I did feel disappointed." Her words carried the weight of years of sacrifice, not just as a dancer, but as an immigrant artist who had crossed continents in pursuit of a dream. "Coming from China, arriving in this country, all I wanted was to achieve my dream," she reflected. "Strictly has given me such a big platform to show my skills, to show my talent." Despite acknowledging feelings of exclusion, Nancy made a deliberate effort to present resilience. "Of course I felt left out this year," she said. "But I'm good, because I'm still part of the Strictly family." She pledged to throw her energy behind her colleagues. promising fans she would be more present than ever, cheering from the sidelines. Appearing on It Takes Two and Morning Live, lending her voice where her feet could not take the floor. Inwardly, insiders suggest, the wound remained open. Outwardly, it was a message of unity. Words that reopened old scars as the series progressed and Carlos found renewed purpose alongside Karen Carney. He began speaking more openly about personal growth and past shortcomings. In interviews, he admitted he had once been self-centered, suggesting that he hadn't always been grateful enough for the opportunities he'd been given, including the previous year when he failed to secure a celebrity partner. On the surface, the comments appeared introspective. But timing, as ever, proved crucial. To some within the Strictly circle, Carlos's remarks felt uncomfortably pointed, particularly in a year when Nancy was the one left sidelined. Nancy fully believes she deserved a partner, a source claimed, and frankly, so does everyone else. According to insiders, there was a growing sense that Carlos's words, however unintentionally, landed like a subtle dig. It felt unfair, the source continued, reigniting tensions that had never fully cooled. Everyone knows partner selection is down to producers and celebrities. To frame it as a personal failing just rubbed salt into the wound. The moment that spoke louder than any statement by the time Carlos lifted the trophy. Then came the moment that sealed it. Hopes of reconciliation were already fragile. As the cameras panned across the ballroom, capturing faces flushed with pride and joy, Nancy's reaction stood out, not through overt hostility, but through the absence of celebration. It was painfully obvious she was the only person not completely elated, a source told The Sun. Everyone hoped they'd quietly put their issues behind them. Instead, it looked worse than ever. The fear, insiders say, is that there may be no coming back from that reaction. Could Nancy even attempt to hide her dislike for Carlos? One viewer wrote. Social media certainly noticed. If you don't like him, stay out of the camera shot, another added. In an era where every glance is magnified and every pause interpreted, silence can be deafening. A ballroom left in the cold. Whether this fractured friendship can be repaired remains uncertain. Some believe time and distance from the pressures of competition may yet soften the edges. Others fear the divide has become too entrenched, shaped by professional disappointment, misunderstood words, and moments that cannot be replayed. What is clear is that Carlos Ghosn's victory, though deserved and celebrated, carries a quiet undertone of loss, not of a title. A friendship built over years, tested under spotlights, and perhaps undone in the space between applause and silence. But of something far more personal. If insiders are correct, Strictly Come Dancing's famously warm ballroom may now be hosting a frost that lingers far longer than a single series.